This, my friends, is the Poco F7 Ultra. It's currently one of the cheapest ways to get the beast mode Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which means class-leading performance is pretty much a shoo-in. Gaming, rendering, AI, yeah, this is not your grandfather's Poco, guys. But that being said, are we looking at pretty much a one-trick pony here? Well, let's take a closer look. If there is just one takeaway from this video, it would be that the F7 Ultra is a speed demon, guys. For example, based on multiple runs on Antutu, my unit currently ranks 3rd behind the iQOO 13 and Red Magic 10 Pro, and quite a safe distance ahead of the OnePlus 13 and Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Imagine that. Now, the OnePlus 13 does jump ahead on Geekbench, but the point is, the F7 Ultra is bloody quick. You can run Genshin and CarX Street maxed out without too much fuss. Now, I did notice micro stutters under sustained loads, but my phones with the 8 Gen 3 suffered worse, for what it's worth. This phone surprisingly has a fantastic main camera. Anything under 5x zoom is detailed with well-judged contrast, even in the dark. Oversaturation is also more controlled than Poco's of yore, even though it still pushes a little more than I would prefer. Autofocus and object tracking are quite fast as well, but stay away from digital zoom, guys. It's quite unusable even by digital zoom standards. Skin tones are rendered accurately, but speaking of skin, for some reason, the post-processing AI, or whatever it's called, over-smoothens the skin and other rough-looking textures, even though Beautify mode is off. Poco, please deactivate this so-called feature immediately. And it's the same thing when recording videos. There's like an obvious smoothing process going on with faces and textures, even though Beautify, once again, is supposedly off. It kind of ruins what is otherwise a very competent video mode as well. It's finally sunny. It's still cold. It's 30 something degrees, but it's been cloudy, rainy, snowy, icy, and it's really nice to be filming outside. But on the left, I have the Poco F7 Ultra, and on the right, we have the OnePlus Open just for kicks. Oh, let's look at the sunshine. And you can see the lens flare and glare, how it's controlled on the OnePlus Open versus the Poco. There's always this diagonal line right there. For what it's worth, I'm gonna run down this trail like we always do with our other phone tests to see how the image stabilization works for OIS, EIS, combination, whatever. And in this case, they're actually both operating really well. I'm impressed with the Poco actually for what it is and for its price. And real quick, you can see if there's any image shearing, how the stabilization works there. Granted, there's YouTube and it's downsampling and all that of the image quality. So as I start running through this, it's muddy, I'll tell you what. So, oh, and one thing about the viewfinder, in case it really depends on what color calibration you set your devices to, but these are straight out of box. So from what my eyes see and what these two are projecting on the screen, the OnePlus Open is slightly more realistic than the really saturated, punchy version on the Poco. Some of you may like that. I personally I don't mind it, but I like something more neutral. You know, I guess the photographer in me. You can see the color science between the two. So the it's really punchy on the Poco in terms of red, but the red is more realistic than the one portrayed on the OnePlus. OnePlus has a very nice tone, very nice contrast and also exposure, but it's slightly more orange than in real life right now. Slightly. I'll prefer the OnePlus still over the Poco. But again, it's up to you, right? Some of you like more color. And unfortunately, even in Pro mode, there's no way to turn down the Poco's color saturation. I wish that was a more obvious or available option for power users, you know. Now, as we come down to the river, check this out. It's high tide right now. This is the Penobscot River. It's a tidal river. And again, you can see the same glare line for the Poco. For what it's worth there, let me try not to slip and fall in the water. Let's look at bokeh. First on the left for the Poco, and then on the right for the OnePlus. You can see how it handles the background. Not bad at all. Now on to the negatives. Minimum brightness on this thing is still too bright in a dark room. The next one, I know it's ultimately down to personal preference, but I'm not a fan of the iOS-like bisected pull-down drawer with notifications on the left and the system status on the right. I wish HyperOS gave users the option to swap left or right, or merge them like stock Android. It's a pity that Poco downgraded the battery size from the 6000 mAh Redmi K80 Pro, which this is based off of, to a smaller 5300 mAh version. I would have loved to see a Poco showing up with power and endurance for days, but as it is, the phone can last a little over a day of heavy use. It's still pretty good, but I can just imagine what could have been. Man, $700 for a Poco may be a hard pill to swallow for Poco purists, but gratefully, if you don't need this kind of horsepower, the F7 Pro and even the X7 series may be a better bet at a lower price. So yeah, tagging on to the last negative, it seems like Poco, which traditionally has been all about value and performance combined, has put itself somewhat in a quandary with the new phones. Previous F models are what I'll call A-tier phones, close to flagship innards, okay cameras, upper mid-range price. But with the F7 Ultra, for example, we now have a proper S-tier phone, absolutely flagship innards, good cameras, and almost premium pricing. So has the company priced itself out of relevance? Well, only time will tell, but strictly as a Snapdragon 8 Elite phone though, if you look through that lens, this thing has tons of power. The cameras and the image processing are a huge improvement over the previous gen. But on the flip side, endurance is good, but could have been better, I think. And the UI, while it's smooth and everything, has some kinks and bugs here and there, which also, if you're buying this in the US through Amazon or something, makes you wonder about support and things like that. But as a Poco phone itself, guys, I'm glad we have this option now. Yeah, check out the links down below if you want to see it for yourself and let me know what you think about it. Remember to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe and reshare this if you'd like to see more content and videos from this channel. Thank you so much for your support and your time with me. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? If you haven't seen the news out there, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Peace out and God bless.